Abandoned by her stepmother, little girl discovers incredible millionaire's heartwarming help. Lily stood at the edge of the park, her heart heavy with sadness. Just days before, her steely stepmother had packed her things and left without so much as a goodbye. Each breath felt like a reminder of abandonment, leaving her feeling small in this big world. With her father deployed overseas, Lily felt even more alone, navigating the whispers and giggles of her classmates who couldn't see beyond the hand-me-down clothes she wore. As the sun dipped lower, casting golden hues across the lilac bushes, Lily felt the pang of loneliness squeeze at her chest. The laughter of children playing tag echoed, while she remained on the periphery, her heart aching for simpler times filled with picnics and smiles. She wandered deeper into the park, a once joyful place, now teeming with reminders of what she had lost. It was there, in the shaded grove of towering oak trees, that she met Mr. Jameson. The reclusive millionaire, known more for his wealth than his warmth, captivated Lily's gaze. He sat alone, sketching the intricate patterns of nature, his brow furrowed in concentration. Despite his age, a spark of something alive danced in his eyes. When he noticed Lily, he put down his drawing and offered her a gentle smile, a rarity in their little town. "Hello there," he greeted, his voice crackling like leaves in the wind. "What brings you to the park today?" "Just exploring," she replied, her voice barely a whisper. But he saw through her lie. In Mr. Jameson, she found someone who didn't just listen but truly cared. And for the first time in weeks, she felt seen. Days turned into weeks, and Mr. Jameson became her mentor. Each afternoon, she would meet him in the park. He shared secrets of perseverance, compassion, and community building, words that filled her with determination. His wisdom was more valuable than gold. Together they built flower beds, planted seeds, transforming the park from a place of solitude into one bursting with vibrant colors, mirroring her blooming spirit. Then came the announcement, the annual spelling bee. Lily's heart raced. Against all odds, she made the team. Yet, with the excitement came the sharp sting of disdain from some classmates. "Just a poor girl," they'd whisper with smirks painted across their faces. Doubts crept in like shadows, whispering that maybe they were right. Just when everything felt overwhelming, her stepmother returned, bringing chaos along with her. Lily's heart twisted in confusion, torn between relief and betrayal. Could Mr. Jameson help her navigate these storms? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The day of the spelling bee arrived. Standing backstage, Lily's throat felt dry, her heart thundered in her chest. She could hear the faint murmurs of the audience, feel the weight of their expectations, and sense their judgment. As her name was called, she stepped into the light, ready to face the challenge not just of spelling, but of proving to herself and the world that she was more than just a name, and that she would not be defined by her past. Would she find the strength to triumph beneath the spotlight? As Lily stepped onto the stage, the bright lights burned against her skin, casting her in a harsh glow that felt both exhilarating and terrifying. The audience was a blur of faces, some eager, some indifferent, but all watching her intently. She swallowed hard, wiping clammy palms against her dress. This was the moment she had been waiting for, yet it felt like a heavy weight on her chest. "Lily Thompson," the announcer called again, breaking through her daze. She blinked, her mind racing. Images of Mr. Jameson flashed before her, the quiet wisdom of his words echoing in her mind. "Believe in yourself, Lily. You have the power to change the narrative." Holding on to his encouragement, she stepped forward. The microphone felt cool against her lips. "A-T-T-N-T-I-O-N," she spelled hesitantly, but with each letter, a little more confidence surged within her. A few gasps echoed in the auditorium, followed by a hush that settled as she moved on to the next word. "Yentichiosism." She could hear the whispers of her classmates from earlier, the taunts flooding her mind. But then, a sudden thought pierced through the noise: what if she succeeded? The thought sent a thrill straight through her, electrifying her spirit. Word by word she soared. The meaning behind each spelling became a mantra that pushed her forward. FCILITAT. A nod from the judge encouraged her. RESILINC. She was no longer that poor girl hiding at the sidelines. The final word hung in the air. PRSISTNC. The audience burst into applause, a wave of sound crashing on her with warmth. She couldn't believe it. She had done it. As she left the stage, heart still racing, Lily was swept into a whirlpool of congratulations. Her classmates had transformed, their faces softened with respect. Their former disdain faded into shy smiles. She felt a glow wash over her, like sunlight breaking through clouds. Then, across the crowd, she spotted Mr. Jameson. He stood there, pride shining in his eyes. A slow smile creased his weathered face as he raised a hand in applause, and she beamed back at him, knowing that this victory was theirs. His faith had ignited a fire within her that she didn't know existed, but the applause faded quickly as she noticed the commotion at the edge of the room. Lily's breath caught in her throat when she saw her stepmother, her face contorted in anger. The joy she had just felt began to twist into something knotty and tight. "What are you doing here?" Lily asked, her heart plummeting. Her stepmother stepped forward, eyes blazing. "You think you can just forget everything? This changes nothing." Fear washed over Lily like cold water, chilling her newfound confidence. The lightness in her spirit felt heavy again. She glanced back at Mr. Jameson, who seemed to sense her turmoil. He stepped closer, ready to help, but Lily's own strength was faltering. "Will she tear apart everything I've built? Everything I've won?" Lily wondered, clutching her heart. Once more, the spotlight fell blinding. How could she navigate through this storm? As the crowd still buzzed with excitement, she faced the truth. She was facing not just her stepmother, but the shadows of her past. Could she stand strong and weave through this next challenge? Would she emerge even stronger, unfazed by the darkness closing in? The answers loomed in uncertainty, but one thought echoed clearer than the rest: Lily had to choose how her story would continue. Lily's hands trembled at her sides as she felt the weight of her stepmother's gaze. It was like being in a cage, the bars made of disappointment and resentment. She could almost hear the crowd behind her fading, the laughter and cheers turning into a ringing silence, leaving only the harsh whisper of her stepmother's accusations. "What do you want?" she managed to say, her voice trembling but fierce. Her stepmother took a step closer, her presence imposing. "To remind you of your place." The words dripped with venom, slicing through the warmth of the applause still echoing around the room. "You think this little spelling bee has changed anything? You're still the same girl. Worthless and foolish." Lily's heart raced, a battle waging within her. She was no longer that shy, scared girl. She had proved that she could shine, if only for a moment. But her stepmother's words dug deep into the cracks of her confidence. Would she let those words define her again? "Just because you say it doesn't make it true," Lily replied, feeling the sharpness of her own voice, a stark contrast to the tremor she felt inside. She glanced sideways at Mr. Jameson, who caught her eye, his encouraging smile a lifeboat in the stormy sea of her stepmother's disdain. Her stepmother recoiled, momentarily taken aback. But then she laughed, a harsh, unforgiving sound. "Look at you! A little bit of applause, and suddenly you think you're someone special?" The crowd's energy pulsed around Lily, and she took a deep breath, letting the warmth wash over her. "I am someone special. I'm not letting you take this from me." Each word felt like an arrow shot straight into the heart of her doubts. She could see a flicker of surprise in her stepmother's eyes, soon replaced by anger. "Remember this moment, Lily. Life isn't a storybook where you get to be the hero," her stepmother sneered, the battle lines drawn. With her heart pounding like a drum, Lily felt something shift within her. She was standing at a crossroads, the past and present colliding in a dizzying whirl. She could ruin the joy she felt or fight to keep it alive. Maybe it's time I wrote my own story, not the one you've planned for me, she declared, her voice clear and strong. But as she turned to step back into the inviting warmth of celebration, her stepmother's hand shot out, grabbing Lily's arm with surprising strength. You think you can just walk away? I'm not finished with you. The grip shook Lily, shattering the newfound resolve like glass. Panic threatened to swell within her, but she squeezed her eyes shut and pictured her friends, Mr. Jameson, and all the moments that had built her back up. The audience had fallen silent again, their eyes fixed on the scene unfolding before them. Lily could feel the weight of their stares, a mix of concern and curiosity. She pulled her arm from her stepmother's grasp, stepping back, her eyes ablaze with determination. No! I won't let you control me anymore. Suddenly she felt a hand on her shoulder. It was Mr. Jameson, his presence like a shield against her stepmother's venom. You've done incredibly well, Lily. Remember that bravery isn't the absence of fear, it's the courage to face it. Lily nodded, bolstered by his words, turning her eyes back to the woman who had cast shadows over her life. I'm not afraid anymore, she said, her voice steady. The tension hung in the air, thick and heavy. Her stepmother's expression flickered, then hardened, revealing her true colors. Lily felt her heart race as she took a step back, ready to break free. But then came her stepmother's final words that would haunt her. You'll regret this, Lily. You don't know what I'm capable of or the lengths I will go to for control. As her words lingered in the air, Lily's heart started to race as dread settled in. She didn't just have to face her stepmother's fury, she had to confront the uncertainty waiting in the shadows. What would happen next? And with that thought she felt the ground shift beneath her, uncertain yet electrifying. There was no turning back now. Would she finally break free, or would the pull of her past drag her back into darkness? Lily could feel her heart thumping in her chest, an echo of fear but mixed with something more empowering hope. Mr. Jameson's hand remained on her shoulder, a steady reminder of the support surrounding her. The crowd was still silent, the air charged. They saw her, really saw her, and at that moment she realized her worth didn't depend on her stepmother's opinion. Her stepmother glared, frustration flooding her features. It was like staring into a storm cloud, dark and menacing. You think you can turn on me? You're nothing without my guidance, she spat, venom dripping from each syllable. Lily stood tall, squarely facing the woman who had loomed over her like a shadow for too long. I'm not nothing. I have friends, support, and dreams. I don't need you to be who I am. This was a new declaration for her, a shedding of old skin. As Lily spoke, the crowd shifted. Whispers began to swirl. Had they seen her vulnerability give way to strength? The murmurings grew into a gentle tide of approval, a wave of light pushing against the darkness her stepmother cast. It scared her stepmother, and Lily felt a flicker of satisfaction at that thought. Support? Her stepmother sneered. These people will forget you the moment you fail. Just wait and see. Lily took a breath. And what if I don't? What if I succeed and make a light that shines bright, one you'll never dim? With a flick of her wrist, her stepmother swatted away those words as if they were annoying flies. This is childish. You're living in a fantasy. Just look where this day has brought you. But as she gestured, something unexpected happened. A figure from the back of the crowd stepped forward. It was Mrs. Carrington, known for her generosity, her eyes twinkling with warmth. The crowd parted for her, creating a path as she moved toward the confrontation. Lily, she said gently, her voice cutting through the tension like a warm knife through cold butter. You've amazed us all. I believe in your potential. Lily felt the weight of joy bubbling within her. Mrs. Carrington's words wrapped around her like a protective cloak. But more than that, the woman continued, I think you deserve a real chance to chase after your dreams. How would you like to join my mentorship program? We could work together on your next steps. Her heart raced at the prospect. This was it. An opportunity to break away from the negativity, to rise higher than she ever imagined. Really? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper, but hope flooded her veins. Yes. You've shown courage today. I see a bright future for you, Mrs. Carrington smiled brightly, inviting a warmth that melted the coldness left by her stepmother. But her stepmother, livid and panicked, stepped forward, her fury igniting. You think a little kindness will change her? She asks nothing. I'll make sure you regret ever taking her under your wing. Enough. Mr. Jameson's voice boomed, command filling the space. This is not how we treat people, especially those who are finding their voice. We celebrate them. Lily took a deep breath. The winds were shifting. She had come so far, and had faced her stepmother's spite. I won't let you bully me anymore, she declared, stepping closer to Mrs. Carrington. I choose to embrace love and support, not fear. Just then, an unexpected ripple ran through the crowd, solidarity forming. They began to clap, slowly at first, but it grew. Applause erupted, a clear acknowledgement of Lily's strength, drowning out her stepmother's shrieks of indignation. Lily smiled, truly smiled, for the first time in years. She felt light, like a bird finally taking flight. But then, as the crowd's energy pulsed around her, another thought crept in, dark and foreboding. Would this victory be enough to keep her stepmother at bay, or had she merely stirred the storm further? The choice was hers, but the stakes had just been raised. As she stepped forward, exhilarated yet wary, she wondered what challenges lay ahead, and if she was truly ready to face them all. Would she discover the strength within her, or would the past claw back, refusing to let go? Lily could barely process how her heart sang amidst the applause. Each clap ignited a fire inside her, a newfound courage she had never felt before. But as strong as she felt, that familiar shadow loomed in the background, her stepmother's scowl etched deep in her memory. The tension in the air shifted, crackling like static electricity. Remember this moment. Her stepmother spat, her voice sharp and cold, slicing through the joyful atmosphere. This is just the beginning. You think you can escape me? I will not let you succeed. Mrs. Carrington's brows furrowed, showing concern. She doesn't need to escape, she needs support and guidance. You'll see, she is capable of greatness. Lily caught her breath, the words filling her with warmth. She glanced around the crowd, faces lit with encouragement, but her stepmother's venomous glare still hovered nearby. Well, you'll all be disappointed, her stepmother continued, her words laced with bitterness, when she proves to be a complete failure. You can't just dismiss me like that. Taking a decisive step forward, Lily felt the chatter of doubt boiling just beneath her newfound confidence. I'm not afraid of failing anymore. I'd rather risk failure than live in fear. The crowd grew quiet, hanging on her every word. In that moment, she spotted Miss Clara, her old art teacher, eyes shining with pride. Lily, you have more talent than you give yourself credit for. Take this chance. Mrs. Carrington smiled wider, and I'll be here every step of the way. You're not alone in this. Gripping the front of her dress, Lily took a deep breath. Thank you, everyone. I'll always remember your support. But I know my journey won't be easy. She was about to start a new chapter, one that meant leaning more on people who lifted her, rather than those who tried to keep her down. But as she spoke, a chill crept back over her, tightening its grip. Would her stepmother really let her go that easily? Deep down, she feared the answer. A flame ignited within her, a fierce desire to prove herself, yet her heart wavered at the thought of conflict looming ahead. Then the crowd began to murmur again, voices mingling like a soft chorus. What is she going to do? Can she really succeed? Lily tried to shake off the tension, but the uncertainty was like an anchor threatening to drag her down. She turned her focus back to Mrs. Carrington, who seemed to radiate eternal hope. Thank you, Mrs. Carrington. I will work hard, and I will show everyone just what I'm capable of. The words sprang from her lips, full of conviction, pushing away the tremors of fear within. But as the affirmation settled in the air around her, she caught her stepmother's eyes locking on her, narrowed with fury and something else, an unsettling resolve. Mark my words, Lily, she hissed, her voice coated in ice. This isn't over. I will make sure you regret challenging me. Lily's heart raced, adrenaline pumping in her veins. She was stepping into a battle she never wanted to fight. Could she stand firm? Or would her stepmother become the tempest she feared, with her new path stretched before her like a vast horizon, uncertainty tangled with hope? The future remained a question waiting to be answered. Little did she know, her journey was about to take a turn she could never have anticipated, one that could either make her dreams blossom or shatter them altogether. Would she emerge stronger than ever, or would the storm find her again, this time with a more ferocious grip? Lily stood at the center of the stage, the cheers still ringing in her ears as the crowd slowly began to disperse. What was once the roar of encouragement now felt heavy, like the weight of her stepmother's words pressing down on her. She glanced around, searching for familiar faces, seeking comfort in a gathering that had turned bittersweet. Mrs. Carrington approached her, her kind eyes softened with concern. "You spoke beautifully, Lily. You should be proud of yourself." "I am," but the uncertainty crept back in, threatening to unravel her confidence. How could she be proud when her stepmother's threats lingered like a dark storm cloud? "Look at me." Mrs. Carrington's voice was firm yet gentle. "You are not defined by what she says. You have dreams, and those are worth fighting for. Hold on to that fire inside you." Lily nodded, a weak smile gracing her lips. It was hard to ignore the chilling voice of her stepmother, but perhaps Mrs. Carrington was right. Maybe she could let the warmth of the crowd drown out the coldness of her stepmother's words. As she made her way through the remnants of the crowd, a sudden commotion caught her attention. A woman in a bright red coat was passionately addressing a small group. Curiosity tugged at Lily, urging her to listen closer. "And that is why I'm offering a scholarship to the best candidate. No one should feel held back by their background or by those who underestimate them." Excitement bubbled within Lily. The woman spoke with such fiery conviction. Could this be her chance? "Excuse me," Lily approached, her heart pounding. "Did you say something about a scholarship?" "Yes, dear." The woman turned, her vibrant smile lighting up as she looked at Lily. "I'm Mary Sinclair, and I'm creating a program to help aspiring artists like yourself. I believe everyone deserves a fair shot." Lily's breath hitched. I'd like to apply." "Of course. You showed such bravery on stage, tackling your fears. That's the kind of spirit we need." Mary's enthusiasm was infectious. "Can you tell me more about your art? What inspires you?" Lily's heart soared with each question. For the first time, she felt seen, truly seen. "I love to paint emotions, to capture the moments that people feel but can't always express." The conversation flowed effortlessly, and for a moment, the fears from earlier began to fade. Mary listened intently, her warmth wrapping around Lily like a cozy blanket. It felt like a mantle of hope draped across her shoulders. However, just as her spirits began to lift, a bone-deep familiar chill swept through the air. Lily turned to see her stepmother approaching, fury etched across her face. "Don't get your hopes up, Lily." Her voice dripped with disdain. "You think some random woman will swoop in and save you? You aren't good enough." With Mary's encouragement echoing in her mind, Lily met her stepmother's fierce gaze. "I am enough. And you are wrong about me." The crowd hushed, all eyes on the confrontation. Lily felt a rush of adrenaline. What felt insurmountable just moments before now felt like a tide she could turn. There was no backing down now. "Go, Lily," Mary whispered, her genuine smile encouraging. "This is your moment." Lily's next words emerged from the depths of her soul. "I won't let anyone, not even you, dictate my future. I'm ready to make my own path." As she spoke those words, freedom surged inside her like electricity. In that instant, she claimed her power. But would her stepmother retaliate? The tension mounted like a gripping movie climax, and all she could think was, what now? The crowd held its breath, waiting for the next move. Would her stepmother unleash the full force of her wrath? Or had Lily finally found the resilience to break free? The possibilities hung in the air like an unanswered prayer. The air grew thick with anticipation. The crowd seemed frozen, eagerly awaiting the next scene in this unfolding drama. Lily could feel every heartbeat, every whisper, as if the world had narrowed down to just her and the woman who had always shadowed her dreams. Her stepmother stepped forward, eyes blazing. Is this really how you want to waste your time? You think those people care for you? They're laughing behind your back. Her voice was harsh, cutting through the moment like a knife. Lily clenched her fists, battling the urge to retreat. But in that moment, she recalled every hour she spent painting alone in her cramped room, every tear that had fallen on her canvas, every glimmer of hope she had cherished. They care about my art. They understand what it means to fight for something you love, she fired back, the conviction in her voice surprising even herself. Art? You think you can make a living painting pretty pictures? You're dreaming. Her stepmother's scornful laugh echoed in Lily's ears. Yet in that laughter something shifted. The intention behind it, an attempt to belittle Lily's passion, fueled her determination. Mary stepped closer, her presence a shield against the negativity. You're selling yourself short, she said, turning to Lily with fierce encouragement. You have talent, real talent. If you want to apply for that scholarship, go for it. You deserve to seize this opportunity. Lily's heart surged. Mary's unwavering support felt like a lifeboat tossed into the stormy sea of her doubts. She took a deep breath, steadying her resolve. I'm not going to let your words define me anymore, she declared, looking directly at her stepmother. I will become the artist I am meant to be. In the electric silence that followed, Lily's heart pounded. It was as if the crowd was willing her to take that leap. Without thinking, she stepped off the stage, moving toward Mary, toward the life she had envisioned for herself. The whispers in the crowd morphed into murmurs of approval, small gasps of disbelief interspersed with supportive cheers. But her stepmother wasn't done yet. You think this is just about art? Your life will fall apart, just like you're too fragile for the real world. You want to succeed. Lily stood still, the warmth of the crowd energizing her. Maybe. But I'd rather fail trying than not try at all. The weight of her stepmother's beliefs crumbled into nothingness, replaced by the strength forming in her heart. Mary beamed at her, and for the first time, Lily could feel the seeds of change taking root inside her. That's the spirit, Mary said, clasping Lily's hand in encouragement. Let us get started on your application. As they turned, the crowd erupted into applause, their voices lifting Lily up like a wave. She felt lighter, freer, ready to embrace the challenges ahead. But even as she relished the moment, a nagging thought whispered in her mind. What if her stepmother tried to sabotage her efforts once more? With a determination she didn't know she possessed, Lily forged ahead, ready to reclaim her story. Yet, as she glanced back one last time, she couldn't shake the feeling that the battle was far from over. Would her stepmother find a way to block her path? The questions loomed, each one adding to her resolve. Lily's heart raced with the promise of what lay ahead, and as the energy of the crowd washed over her, one thought crystallized in her mind: this was just the beginning. Lily and Mary hurried backstage, adrenaline still surging through their veins from the unexpected confrontation. The library filled with joyous chatter as the crowd mingled, celebrating not just the gallery opening but the brave stand Lily had taken. Yet amid the applause, a shadow still loomed in Lily's mind. She could almost feel her stepmother's sneer, echoing in the silence that followed. Are you okay? Mary asked, concern knitting her brow as she glanced at Lily. Lily shook her head, trying to shake off the weight of uncertainty. I am, but I can't help but feel like this is just the calm before the storm. Mary sighed. I get that. But you did something amazing out there. You stood up for yourself. That takes guts. As they stepped outside, the cool evening air wrapped around them like a comforting embrace. Colors from the paintings still danced behind Lily's eyelids, colors she had poured her heart into. But worries crept back in. What if she tries to ruin my application? What if she spreads lies to the school? Then we fight back, Mary replied fiercely. You have a voice, and a chance to be heard. We'll work on this together. I won't let her turn you back now. Lily smiled weakly, feeling gratitude swell in her chest. Mary was her steadfast ally, her friend, and their bond felt stronger than any threat. You're right. I just need to focus. If I can pour my heart into my art, maybe I can do this. Months of pouring all her emotions into her canvases had prepared her for this moment, and she felt the stirrings of purpose. They began brainstorming ideas for the application right there on the sidewalk, jotting down thoughts that spilled from Lily's heart like ink from a fountain pen. But with every stroke of inspiration, doubts slinked back in. "Do you really think I'm good enough for this scholarship?" she asked, voice trembling slightly as they took a seat on a nearby bench. "What if they don't see the potential?" "Lily," Mary said firmly, meeting her gaze. "Your work speaks for itself. You just need to believe in yourself as much as I believe in you. The art can't shine with doubt lurking in the shadows." With her heart pounding anew, Lily nodded, seeking solace in Mary's words. The sun dipped lower, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple colors that felt like magic to her. They spent hours discussing her next steps, planning out every detail of the application as the city grew quieter around them. But just as they began outlining the final touches, Lily's phone buzzed, a shiver of anxiety racing through her. It was a text from her stepmother, a simple message packed with weight. "You're wasting your time. Come home. You're only making a fool of yourself." Lily stared at the screen, a lump rising in her throat. Rage flared, but so did fear. "Why can't she just let me be?" "Ignore it," Mary urged. "This is about you. If you feel like it's time for a change, then make that change." Even as Mary spoke, a nagging worry settled deep in her gut. Was she truly ready to face her stepmother's wrath? How far would her stepmother go to reinforce her power? With renewed focus, Lily took a deep breath, envisioning the future she longed for. A future filled with her art, acceptance, and freedom. Yet, the grim thought of retaliation pinged at her mind. Could she really fight this fight? As the last rays of sunlight faded, lending the world an ethereal glow, Lily felt a current of hope surge through her. She lifted her chin slightly and whispered to herself, "I can do this. I will do this." But just as determination settled in her heart, another notification pinged her phone, this time a photo. It was an image of a renowned gallery she had always dreamed of. Underneath, a vague caption. "Open call for submissions next month." Her breath caught. Was this the chance she had been waiting for? But would she even have the chance to meet it, or would she find herself thwarted by her stepmother once again? The pulsing uncertainty left her unsettled as she pondered what lay ahead. What if this was the moment that defined everything for her, the moment when she could finally break free? With a mixture of fear and excitement, she realized this was just the beginning of a larger battle. The road ahead looked unclear, but deep down, she knew she had to try. What she didn't expect was how soon the next challenge would come knocking. Lily's heart raced as she stared at the image on her phone. The gallery she had admired from afar now seemed within reach. All she had to do was submit her work. But the thought of her stepmother's reaction nagged at her, wrapping around her spirit like a dark cloud. "Do you want to go home?" Mary asked softly, noticing Lily's hesitation. Lily frowned. "No, I can't. I need to focus." "But the text, it's just so cruel." Mary offered a reassuring smile. "It's meant to scare you. Don't let her win. You know what you have to do." Taking a deep breath, Lily pushed herself to respond. "You're right. But can I really compete with the talented artists who will submit?" "You're talented too, Lily. You've poured your heart into each piece." Mary nodded vigorously. "Remember what you told me, that art should speak truth. Yours does that. Trust in it." Encouraged, Lily's pulse steadied. The idea of showcasing her work felt almost electric. She pictured her pieces, each canvas a story, a fragment of her life. Surely, they could capture someone's attention. As they resurfaced from the comforting confines of their thoughts, Mary's phone buzzed audibly. She glanced at the screen and frowned. "Everything okay?" Lily asked. "It's just," Mary hesitated, her brows knitting together. "It's from a girl in our art class. She's saying the gallery has a strict selection process, and not everyone gets in. She thinks we shouldn't even try." Lily's stomach twisted. Fortunately, Mary's resolve was unshakable. "That's just one opinion, right? Let us show them what we can do." Lily nodded fiercely. The fire ignited again in her heart. You're right. Let us get to work. The next weeks passed in a blur of paint, brushes, and determination. Each evening, they transformed the small studio in Mary S.'s apartment into a vibrant tapestry of color. They laughed, shared late-night snacks, and tore down walls of insecurity together. But shadows still lingered in Lily S.'s mind. Every time she completed a piece, a voice from the back of her head whispered, "You'll never be good enough." The dread of failure and rejection clawed at her. "Lily! Stop that!" Mary would scold, hands on her hips, trying to hold back her laughter. Art isn't about perfection. It's about expression. Just let it flow. With each supportive nudge, Lily found herself healing. The weight of her stepmother's words began to lose its grip. One evening, after a particularly emotional painting session, Lily stepped back to observe her work. She had poured her heart into a canvas depicting a sunrise breaking through a stormy sky. It felt almost prophetic. "Wow, that's incredible," Mary said, peering over her shoulder. "You've captured something truly beautiful here." "It's powerful." "I didn't think I could," Lily murmured. "You can. Just look." Mary's eyes sparkled with excitement. "When it's finished, we'll send it over for submission. I'll even help you write the artist's statement." As they discussed the details, Lily's phone pinged again. It had a message from her stepmother. "You think this ridiculous little dream will amount to anything? Get real and come home." Lily inhaled sharply. Each word was like another brick in her fortress of doubt. But before she could sink into despair, Mary placed a gentle hand on her arm. "This is what you've been waiting for, remember? To prove her wrong. Don't let her poison this moment." Feeling suddenly resolute, Lily tapped her fingers against the canvas. "You're right. I won't let her stop me. I'll submit my art and show everyone." But just as the glow of determination enveloped her, a new thought crept in. What if her stepmother took action sooner than she expected? What if she tried to sabotage her before Lily even had the chance to deliver her application? With mounting anxiety humming underneath her confidence, Lily turned back to the canvas, preparing to make the final strokes. How could she protect her dream while still fighting this battle on two fronts? As the paint dried, the uncertainty swelled. Would she let this dream slip through her fingers, or would she find a way to wrestle both her art and her life back from the chaos? What options would she discover if she opened her eyes wide enough to see them? Each moment ticked by, and the next challenge was right around the corner, waiting to see if she would rise to meet it. Lily stood in front of her completed canvas, the colors representing hope splashed vibrantly across its surface. The looming deadline for her gallery submission pulsed in the back of her mind, like a heartbeat syncing with her resolve. "This is it," she whispered, brushing her fingers along the edge of the drying paint. Yet, even as satisfaction surged, her stepmother's voice echoed in the corridors of her thoughts, threatening to seep into her newfound confidence. "You'll never be good enough." But she had to silence that voice for herself and for the journey that lay ahead. "Let us take this to the gallery," Mary encouraged, her excitement contagious. She had become Lily's anchor, gently nudging her farther away from the uncertainty that had once paralyzed her. The artist's confidence had been bolstered, and she found herself embracing each brushstroke with a renewed sense of purpose. "I've got all my stuff ready," Lily said, her resolve solidifying. "The application, my artist statement, and I think I'm even ready to speak about my work." As they were about to leave the studio, a knock echoed through the small room. Mary looked at Lily, eyebrows raised. Who could that be? Just then, the door swung open to reveal an unexpected face, Mrs. Carrington, bright and warm as ever. "I just wanted to check in on you," she said, as she stepped inside with her radiant smile. "And I brought some treats." "Just in time." Mary laughed, setting down a box of colorful donuts. "You won't believe how far Lily's come." Mrs. Carrington's eyes sparkled with pride as they shared the moment, basking in the warmth of newfound friendships and acceptance. But as much as Lily appreciated this support, she couldn't shake the sense of impending conflict that loomed in her peripheral. After sharing the donuts, catching up on each other's projects, and reveling in the joy of art, the time came to face the gallery's submission. Lily could feel excitement bubbling within her, battling against the dread that hung over her thoughts. As they arrived at the gallery, vibrant art adorned the walls. Each piece was a reflection not only of talent, but stories. Underneath its breathtaking atmosphere, the reality of what she was doing hit her like a gust of wind. Could she really put herself out there? Her hand shook as she fumbled with the application in her pocket. Ready? Mary nudged her shoulder, sensing the uncertainty. Lily took a deep breath, summoning the strength she felt at the spelling bee. Yes. This is my moment. They approached the submission table, and Lily's heart raced. But before she could reach it, a voice hauntingly familiar pierced the air. What are you doing here, Lily? It was her stepmother, the fury in her eyes striking like a lightning bolt. What are you talking about? Lily's voice trembled, but she stood firm. I'm submitting my art. Art? You think anyone cares about your little dreams? Her stepmother laughed, voice dripping with contempt. This is your chance for disgrace. In that moment, doubt threatened to creep back in, but surrounded by the presence of Mary and Mrs. Carrington, Lily's resolve awoke. She looked directly into her stepmother's eyes. I'm not ashamed of who I am anymore. This is my journey, and you won't stop me. The crowd nearby turned, whispers coursing like an electric current. The energy shifted, their eyes alive with interest. Mrs. Carrington stepped closer, a protective force beside Lily. You need to let her be, dear, she stated firmly, and recognize that this moment is about her and her choices. Lily felt the situation escalate, her stepmother's fury clashing against the warmth of the support surrounding her. You think you can take her away from me? To pursue some foolish dream? Her stepmother snapped. I'm not just some foolish dream, Lily countered, the fire in her heart igniting. This is the path I choose. I'm reclaiming my future, and nothing you say can change that. With every word, strength washed over her like rain on thirsty soil. She turned to the gallery, the luminous paintings reflecting her spirit. Art isn't just what I do, it's who I am. And I won't let anyone, especially you, take that away from me. The crowd began to murmur, sensing her determination. The tension melted the icy grip of fear, while hope rekindled her conviction. Step away, Lily! Her stepmother warned, but now it was Lily's turn to rise. No! I'm done living in fear. Emotions surged, the words unleashing a flood within her, and just then, in a flash, Mrs. Carrington spoke. Your support matters. Lily deserves this chance, and that's final. Taken aback, Lily's stepmother hesitated, but only for a moment before a look of rage rushed back to her face. You will regret this, both of you, she hissed, storming off into the gallery as shadows. As her stepmother disappeared, silence flowed through the crowd before a wave of applause broke out. The weight lifted off Lily's shoulders, replaced with jubilant relief, their acceptance echoing like a powerful resonance that affirmed her voice. We believe in you, Lily! Someone called from the back, their energy reverberating through her heart, and then, she realized this was more than just acceptance. It was liberation. Hand in hand with Mary, and with Mrs. Carrington proudly by her side, Lily strode towards the submission table. There was no fear anymore, only the exhilarating possibility of a dream taking flight. As she placed her work on the table, she felt whole, bright, alive. This was her moment of triumph. Together they stepped away from the chaos, entering a brighter future filled with art, dreams, and ultimately, freedom. No looking back, she whispered, grinning at Mary and Mrs. Carrington. With renewed determination, she closed her eyes and breathed in the sweet possibility of life. A new chapter was just beginning, and Lily knew she was ready to embrace it all. She had written her story, and it started here. Now, it's your turn. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, it really helps. Comment below and share your reactions and feelings about this journey. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. You need to show your support, Just like Lily embraced her story,